I have to smile.
Why?
Because I
Are
can.
you happy? I'm not happy. I'm going to tell you why I'm not happy. So, a month ago, I went to Illinois and picked up some seed. Right, Tim?
Yep.
That's right. I picked up some seed. I picked up Timothy seed, premium Timothy seed. That's a tricky one to get going in the spring, but we're going to do it anyway. And I picked up alfalfa seed, Northern Hardy brand alfalfa. Did you pull that off?
Nope.
So it was tested in January 2025. So yeah, I'm planting alfalfa. I've done this before. One thing with alfalfa, if you don't know, you have got, this is, and I probably said it on film before, I've told everybody, you know, that is going to be on this journey with me with alfalfa. Alfalfa is a now crop. When it's ready now. And you need to make it. When? Now. So, I'm not going to give out any information on how to grow alfalfa today because I've grown it in the past. It's a tricky bastard. If you don't know what you're doing, you can make a bunch of sticks. Literally make a bunch of sticks. You can make the most beautiful alfalfa in New Jersey if you are vigilant and know what you're doing. So we had cows here forever, since 1925 on this farm. From 1925 to 2011, we had cows here. And we had cows later, beef cows. But while we had the cows here, we fed them alfalfa or clover or alfalfa and clover. I put that hay up in this barn and the barn on the other side over there. What's it hold? We have about 12,000 bales between the two barns. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, about 12,000 bales between the two, little bales between the two barns. And it would take all 12,000 bales plus 2 silos of corn silage and high moisture corn to feed these animals that were below my feet here and produce milk. You had to grow good alfalfa if you want the benefits of the alfalfa. So I know how to grow good alfalfa. Doesn't mean you're going to make good alfalfa every time. That's just the luck of the draw. I could go out there and say, okay, we got 5 days of clear weather. Let's go cut that alfalfa field down, and we're going to make premium alfalfa, and it'll be perfect. It'll be perfect. Go out there, cut the whole field down, get the wagons ready, balers ready, everything's going, and some freak storm will come and get a little bit of rain on it, and then it's not premium anymore. It's rained on alfalfa. And you can't ted it at that point. It's basically just rake it over, knock all the leaves off, and bale sticks. That's what you get. So I know what I'm in for with alfalfa. I bought this off of a friend of mine. He knows who he is. Yeah. And he gave me a hell of a deal on it. So I drove to Illinois to pick it up. It was great. Stopped in, saw Jeff Ramond and his wife, and that's... worked out. But I picked up some more ground, and I want to take some more ground out of hay production or out of grain production and put it back into hay because there's a demand for good hay. Not where you think it is, but it's not in this state. It's not even in the state next door to me. It's in the state out a ways, 2 states over. And they're going to pay to have it shipped to them, so that's a good thing. Mr. Tim can do it too. So I've got Timothy, I've got alfalfa, I've got, let's see, what is it? This is orchard grass. I bought orchard grass yesterday. There's enough on this pallet to do, was there about 50 acres there? So here's the stupid thing. I'm going to show you this seed. This seed, they tell me it's coated, and you can see a coating on it, but they say it's 50%. 50% of that seed, what did you do? Pull it out of your pocket?
No, it's right here.
No. They're saying that 50% of this seed is a coating, which I do not believe. They want you to plant a hell of a lot more than you would normally plant in general. They're saying 20 to 30 pounds of that to the acre for pasture. Well, we're not doing pasture. We're doing hay. So this will go through the grain drill in the regular big box. And I will be putting 12 to 15 pounds to the acre, not 20 to 30 pounds, 12 to 15, probably 15 pounds to the acre. I'm okay with that. That's fine. It'll be just fine. What I'm looking for now is actually ryegrass. I got to get ryegrass. And I went and I took a trip yesterday to pick up this seed from a place in Pennsylvania where, of course, it took me 3.5 hours to get there and 3.5 hours to get back. I didn't get home until after 10 o'clock last night from that trip. So I got it. I didn't have enough room on to get the ryegrass. So what's going to happen is this orchard grass is going to be planted with ryegrass. And that will get me a crop this year. Because the ryegrass will grow, annual rye. It'll grow really good. It will nurse the orchard grass. It will nurse the Timothy as well. So I need to get enough of that stuff brought in. That is kind of going to take a little bit of that to get to mix. So I think if I put 15 pound of Timothy seed, say 15 pound of orchard seed, I'm going to have to put something like 10 to 15 pounds of the other seed as well to make a crop, the annual ryegrass. And what happens is when you cut the annual ryegrass, that dies off. You kill that in a couple of years. It's gone. It doesn't stick around. It's annual. You get one that's an annual, and then you have that triannual one. This lasts for 3 years if you don't let it go to seed. But you'll get a good cutting off of it, and it makes good hay. It'll make second cut hay really nice as well. So you can put that in with the orchard grass. And then I bought, for the fourth type of seed that I've bought, is the K31 Kentucky bluegrass, Kentucky 31. Now, I'm sure there's people that are out there right now that are saying, oh my God, you're poisoning animals left and right. You can successfully feed this to your horses without causing abortions if you know what you're doing. Most people don't know what they're doing. Most horse people hear fescue and they're like, no, not feeding my horses fescue because that'll cause weight loss. It'll cause all this stuff. It will. You're right. Absolutely. If you do it wrong. So the thing with Kentucky 31 is it gets about 4 feet tall. It can take the drought. It can take the wet. It can take it, and it's a real big responder to fertilizer. So 28-13-13, you put 150 pound of 28-13-13 on it, or 200 pound of 28-13-13 on a second cut. You're going to have a hell of a cutting of second cut Kentucky 31. It will really yield well. You can get a third cutting out of it if you get the weather. The key to Kentucky 31 is to not let it head. Well, it can head, just start to head. If it goes into full head and you want to feed this to beef cows or horses, sorry, that's when you're going to run into some problems. Maybe endophyte is a fungus. So, and it grows in the head of Kentucky 31. Nowhere else in the plant does the endophyte fungus grow. So if you're going to do K31 and you've got a market like mulch hay, like I've got, you can take that first cutting off if it gets late. You take the first cutting off, refertilize, come back in, get a second cut, and it will yield you 2 tons to the acre on a second cut if you fertilize it correctly. Put it into big bales, ship it to where it's going, and get $250 a ton for it. That's how that'll go. That'll be a lot nicer. That's how we gotta work this thing from now on, because mulch hay isn't paying. It's not paying the bills. Corn, I heard today, unless you have a magic way of growing corn, you are not going to make any money growing corn this year. Might not make any money growing soybeans either, but we're going to do it. And I have 300 acres of corn that I got to stick in the ground, and I'm not happy about it. But what the hell am I supposed to do, right? Just sit on my laurels and get nothing done? So anyways, orchard grass, alfalfa, and Timothy. Timothy is best sown either frost seeded on, like yesterday, or planted in the fall. This will go in the ground yet this year, and that's just the way that's going to work. This lacrosse seed, or this alfalfa seed, that orchard grass is going to get planted on a couple of fields with the alfalfa. A little different process than anybody does, but I'm going to do it so we get a good mix of alfalfa and orchard grass. Then
Would that really hurt anything about it?
No. It makes the hay better.
No.
not for horses. I ain't feeding horses. I'm feeding cows. So feeding cattle and goats. Goat people apparently decided that they love alfalfa. And alfalfa and orchard grass mix. Yes, it's good for horses. Yes, no horse should even eat alfalfa, but the people that feed alfalfa to horses, they think that horses have to have this high protein food, that horses are really prairie grass eaters, and orchard would be perfectly fine. Timothy would be perfectly fine. But no. The horse, the owner of the horse knows more than the horse itself. And a horse will eat it, and then they founder, and they have all kinds of problems. But that's just the horse people. And then it's the hay guy's fault. Yeah. That's why I hate horse people. Just hate them.
They're picky.
Well, they're idiots. Anyway, I'm not even going to go in there. Because I may be selling to horse people at some point, the alfalfa. But it's cash only or credit card. Other than that, they can kiss my ass. Because I am not dealing with checks, but cash, credit card, I'm good with. Anything other than that, they go to hell. Go straight to hell. I don't want anything to do with them. And we're going to make good hay. We're going to make idiot blocks, probably fill these barns up. Who knows? Timothy will lose about 40 pounds in a day. Oh. He's been eating. Did you just go eat something? I think you actually lost some weight.
I did.
You're not eating so good, are you?
See, I've got my freaking belt all tightened up.
No, that's good.
I know.
Stop eating sugar and you'll drop weight like nothing. Sugar's killing you. I stopped eating sugar, man. I'm down, 15 pounds? I didn't even think I was 15 pounds overweight until I stepped on the scale and I was like, you know what? Something's got to change here. And it was sugar. I stopped eating sugar. It's good. All good. Anyway, we're going to unload this thing by hand because Timothy destroyed the skid steer.
I did not. It's self-destructed.
Who was driving it?
I was. It's self-destructed.
Not me. Couldn't be me, Dad. I would never do that. Don't throw that out. Put that in here. Right there on top of that orchard grass. I'm just picking on him. He just loves to get picked on. It's his favorite job. All right, so I figured I would come on out to the seed, to where I've got the seed. And there's a lot of people that are like, oh, you got that cheap because the germination was bad. Now, germination's not bad. So, in this building, I've got something like $20,000 worth of grass seed in here. Between the Timothy seed, let me drop that down. Timothy seed, I got, there's 4 bags. I got 4 bags of Timothy, one type of Timothy here. There's another 3 bags out there. So there's 7. I got 7 bags of one variety of Timothy, and then I've got that's saddlebred. I did a germination on that because this is leftover seed from last year. 100%. It's 100% germination. I had no seeds that didn't come up on this thing. So what I want to do is I'm going to flip my camera around. I'm going to show you that even though I know that this is going to germinate at near 100%, this one here has, and that's the saddlebred. This is last year's seed. I bought it last year. That came out of Canada. 90% germination. Right there, 90%. So this year's Timothy seed that I bought a little bit ago, like a month ago, and I haven't gotten it out yet. I'm not sure where in the hell my germination tag is, but here it is. Let me get that thing up. What kind is this? This is probably, this is Top Tim, XL brand, Timothy. Forage first. This has a germination of 85%, right? Right there, 85%. I don't know if you can see it, but it's 85%. Okay. That's 85%. I got alfalfa here. This I just bought. Let's see. Is there a tag? There it is. This has a total germination of, it says 85%. Yeah, 85% on that. This is the tall fescue. tall fescue. These are 50-pound bags. Germination 85%. And this one here is the orchard grass, which has a germination of 85%. I knew it was going to be 85%. And the reason I know that it was going to be 85% is because I talked to a seed guy. And he's like, they do that. He said, if they post that it's 95% and you don't plant it right away, or you plant it and it dries out in the field and what didn't get worked into the field or whatever, they post 85%. I guarantee you, I pull that orchard grass or this tall fescue or that alfalfa or that Timothy, I'd be hard pressed to get an 85 or a 90% germination. It would be like a 99% germination. Let's call it 99%. It's just the way they do that. It's a protection for the seed company. Because if in the event something weird happens, like you plant it and it does a suicide germination, which happens, you get a dry spell and then only, 15% of it doesn't come up. Well, 15% of it, they're still under protection. And of course, it would be a dispute what percentage came up. Now, all right, so that's what you deal with these germinations. I will tell you that if you don't get it in the ground this year, usually you can wait 5 years with this stuff. I mean, if it's kept in a cool, dry place like where I'm at right now in this barn, cool, dry place, doesn't get excessive heat, doesn't get any moisture, no sunlight, no weirdness, it doesn't dry out or the seed doesn't die. Yeah, you can keep this stuff 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years. But I would always suggest you do a germination test on it, which basically is take a handful, get a couple of wet paper towels, put it in between them in a little pie plate, aluminum pie plate or whatever. Keep it moist every morning. Keep it moist. Make sure it doesn't dry out. And within a week, you've got seed popping up. If they don't come up in a week, then, ladies and gentlemen, you've more than likely got dead seed. But I did germination tests on all of this stuff. On the old Timothy, perfect. It's like 100%. There's nothing. I didn't find one seed that didn't come up. It was great. So, anyways, yeah, for those of you naysayers that are like, oh my God, the Timothy or the seed is probably a year old in the German. It's not. It isn't. I guarantee you. They wouldn't sell it. They can't. Because then they're not only liable for the seed, they're liable for the work you did to plant that seed. It would be a lawsuit. Because let's face it, for me to plant 300 acres, it's like there's like $20,000 worth of seed here, right? So just in the seed, if I planted all this seed, I got 300 acres or so in the ground, and in seed it's $20,000. I turn around and it costs me another, just say in preparation, rent on the ground. You could have $40,000 invested in this process. And if it comes out that they sold me dead seed, they're liable for the whole nut. And they will pay. They will. And then they'll pay your lawyer fees, because if they knowingly sold you seed that was subpar, left over, they fudged the germination on it, they're liable, just like anything else. When that orchard grass was $30 a bag, so what? You lost something, but now it's not $30 a bag. It's that orchard grass. What the hell did I? Well, you'll have to remember, because I don't remember it right now. I'd have to look. What did I pay for that damn stuff? 87? I think 87 a bag for the orchard grass. The K31 was 60. Alfalfa was pretty expensive. Timothy was pretty expensive. Yeah, but anyways. Either way, one way or the other, it has to be put in the ground, and we're just about ready to do that. But they're not going to sell you bad seed. Anyways, enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.